let's be honest, here's the truth. Learning a British accent, or even if you want to learn, it's not about imitating, copying, or even kind of like shadowing a native English speaker in movies. It's about turning your ear, your tone, and even your confidence at the same time. However, in today's video, I'm going to show you how to learn a British accent by just using ChatGPT, and I'm going to dive with it in the 10 powerful questions that are related to how to learn and master the British pronunciation. If you want to learn a British accent, this video is for you. If you don't, I believe there are lots of videos out there and where can help you to perfect it, but I believe these methods is going to work. These 10 powerful questions are going to transform the way you learn, even going to help you to be able to perfect your pronunciation, even if you're starting from scratch. No matter, even if you're a beginner, you'll get there. And by the end of this video, I promise you, you will not just be imitating, you will be able to communicate with clarity, charm, and confidence, and of course, unmistakably British. Now, these 10 powerful questions, I'm going to ask ChatGPT to help us to give us some answers. And I picked this speaker with a British accent, and you will hear, of course, how they speak, how they answer. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to ask these 10 powerful questions. And feel free to note them down, feel free to have a notebook and even try to write the questions down. And of course, try to go over it yourself after it later on. So now, these 10 thoughtful questions you can use to explore, even to learn, to master a British accent, and of course to reflect on your progress. Now, without further ado, let's get straight into it. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to open my ChatGPT and let's get straight into it. Let's dive into it, shall we? Hello there.
Hey there, how's it going? What can I do for you today?
Well, mate, today we are gonna. I'm actually in front of camera, in front of my audience, to be fair, and I'm trying to record a video. And this video is going to contain lots of 10 questions. These questions are going to be based on my personal preference. It's going to be based on. I've heard it a lot of people, my subscribers, my followers on YouTube and all the social media platforms, they literally ask these questions, and I've just gathered these questions, and I found this idea where, oh, you know what? I'm just going to go to ChatGPT. I'm going to pick a random speaker with a British accent that they have a contemporary, a modern RP pronunciation accent, and they can help us figure out what are the right answers according to their experience. And yeah, I found you here, mate. So are you ready for 10 thoughtful questions?
Absolutely, that sounds like a lot of fun. I'm totally up for helping out with those questions. Just let me know what you've got in mind and we'll dive right in.
Well, that seems like a great starting point. Now, the first question is, I just want you to give you a simple, straightforward answer to help this audience to be able to get the perfect answer and to be able to help them to learn a British accent and how to perfect it at the same time. These are the secret tips, of course. Now, the first question is, of course, which British accent should a person, if a person wants to learn a British accent, where do you think they should start? What type of accent should they learn, and how and why?
Oh, that's a great question. So generally speaking, a lot of people tend to start with received pronunciation or RP because it's often considered the standard British accent. Is relatively neutral and widely understood. And then from there, people can branch out into other regional accents like Cockney or Scouse or Geordie, depending on what they're interested in. the reason for starting with RP is that it gives a solid foundation and it's pretty versatile. So that will be my recommendation.
Well, so now, as you've mentioned earlier, you say that if a person wants to start to learn a British accent, they have to start learn by, first of all, to pick with a received pronunciation. I get it, but a lot of people I found they say received pronunciation is quite difficult. But as you mentioned earlier, my suggestion or my advice to you is for those who are starting to learn, of course, to learn a British accent and British pronunciation. I believe that if you can start with a received pronunciation, because I believe a received pronunciation doesn't have a specific geographical location, isn't it?
Exactly, you got it. RP isn't tied to a specific place. It's more of a standardized accent that's often used in formal settings, media, and so on. It can definitely be challenging at first, but it provides a really good foundation. And once you've got that down, it's easier to explore other accents and dialects. So absolutely, it's a great starting point.
So now a received pronunciation, basically, as I mentioned earlier, doesn't have a specific location, doesn't have a specific geographical area in the UK. It doesn't mean that if you want to learn a received pronunciation, you have to be British. You have to have a specific kind of a background. But honestly, is a very very common accent that a lot of people they learn. So you don't have to be British to have a modern RP accent, because of course there are multiple accents, lots of different accents, but a received pronunciation is a common answer, and I would say is a very important choice.
Absolutely, you've hit the nail on the head. RP is definitely not exclusive to native Brits. It's something that anyone can learn and adopt. It's quite neutral and widely understood, which makes it a great choice for learners. And of course, as you get more comfortable, you can always branch out into other accents and really personalize your own style. It's definitely a fun journey.
But I believe also there's another type of RP received pronunciation, which is of course I would say like a posh accent, but there's a modified version of received pronunciation. Or I believe there are the three types of received pronunciation, but I believe a modern contemporary RP, which is a modified version of received pronunciation, is a great choice.
Absolutely, that's spot on. There are indeed different variations of RP. You've got the traditional, more formal version, and then there's the modern or contemporary RP, which is a bit more relaxed and reflects current speech patterns. It's definitely more approachable and sounds more natural to modern ears. So going for that contemporary RP is definitely a fantastic choice for learners today.
Wow, that was quite a bit of a long version of the question, but we'll get there.
No worries at all. I'm here for all the details, and we can definitely take it step by step. Just let me know whenever you're ready with the next question or anything else you need, and we'll keep it rolling.
Well, now the next question is: how can daily listening practice if a person is always listening to TV shows, podcasts, music? How do you think they can be able to improve their pronunciation? Do you think they have to listen to specific people where they be able to master the accent? Because I've noticed a lots of people when they're starting to learn a particular pronunciation, they kind of like they don't listen actually particularly to those people who have this accent. They more of a listen to sort of different accent, but I believe that it's not going to help, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Consistent daily listening is super important. The more you immerse yourself in the accent, the more natural it becomes. And yes, focusing on specific speakers or consistent sources that have that accent really helps. It's definitely more effective than mixing too many different accents, because it allows you to pick up on the subtle nuances and patterns. Over time, it definitely pays off.
Yeah, so that's it, guys. Of course, daily listening practice is important. It's quite fundamental. But however, you need to be sure that you are listening to certain speakers where they have a contemporary modern RP pronunciation, if that makes sense.
Absolutely, that makes perfect sense. It's all about being intentional with the sources you choose. That way, you really refine your ear, and your pronunciation is definitely a key part of the learning process. So yeah, you summed it up perfectly.
Cheers, mate. So the next question is, what is the key pronunciation differences between British pronunciation and American pronunciation? Of course, if let's say a person is trying to learn a British pronunciation, what do you think? Do you think is important? Do you think it's fundamental for those people to know the difference between American pronunciation and British pronunciation, so they don't mix up between two accents?
Oh, definitely. Knowing the key differences is super important. For example, in British English, you'll often hear a clearer and more distinct pronunciation of certain vowels, like the short A sound in words like bath. And then, of course, there are differences in the R sound. British accents tend to be non-rhotic, meaning the R at the end of words isn't pronounced, whereas in American English, the R is usually pronounced. So being aware of these differences definitely helps keep things clear and consistent.
Absolutely spot on. Well, the next question is, how does you think, or how what's your perspective on shadowing technique? Do you think it's helped people to master in terms of rhythm, pronunciation, and intonation?
Oh, absolutely. Shadowing is fantastic for that. By repeating and mimicking native speakers in real time, you really get a feel for the natural rhythm, the intonation patterns, and the nuances of pronunciation. It helps build muscle memory and also boosts your listening skills. So yeah, it's definitely a powerful technique for mastering an accent.
Appreciate that. So, the next question is, why and how do a person can be able to record themselves in terms of listening, and do you think that can have the massive impact and improvement of the accent?
Oh, definitely. Recording yourself is such a powerful tool. When you listen back, you can catch any differences between your pronunciation and the native accent, and it helps you pinpoint areas that need improvement. Plus, it boosts your self awareness and lets you track your progress over time. So, absolutely, it can have a massive impact on improving your accent.
Well, guys, as you know, listening and recording yourself at the same time, that can help you to spot the elephant in the room, okay? That you will be able to spot what are mistakes you've made, what sounds that you'll be able to be working on, and what are the kind of the differences that you need to know, of course, and how to develop very, very quickly.
Exactly. That's such a great way to put it. It really does shine a light on those little mistakes and helps you fine tune your pronunciation. And by continuously recording and listening, you really speed up the learning process and make those improvements much more effectively. It's definitely a game changer.
What are the rule phonetics? What is the purpose of phonetic, which is an IPA, which is the phonetic International Phonetic Alphabet, play in understanding or comprehend the British pronunciation?
Oh, the International Phonetic Alphabet, or IPA, is such a valuable tool. It provides a clear, consistent system to represent sounds, so you can see exactly how each sound is produced. This is especially helpful for mastering British pronunciation because it breaks down those subtle differences in vowel and consonant sound. So it really helps learners understand and replicate the accent more accurately.
How can a person train their ear to recognize the subtle regional differences within the UK? Let's say in the UK now there are about 40 or even more. I'm not quite sure statistically, but I believe there's about more than 40 accents across the UK or United Kingdom. But do you think training yourself to recognize those subtle differences within the country itself is going to help you to be able to learn the accent even more quicker.
Absolutely, it definitely can help. The more you expose yourself to different regional accents, the more attuned your ear becomes to those subtle variations. It helps you understand the rich diversity of accents across the UK, and that awareness can definitely improve your overall pronunciation and comprehension. Plus, it makes the learning process more enjoyable and well-rounded.
What are the daily habits that a person can be able to build to make the consistent progress in their accent training with their learning British pronunciation?
Yeah, definitely. Some great daily habits include things like dedicating a bit of time each day to listening to British media, whether that's podcasts, TV shows, or news. Another habit is practicing speaking out loud, maybe even doing some shadowing or repeating phrases. Also, recording yourself and then listening back, as we mentioned, and even engaging in daily conversations with native speakers when possible. And just staying consistent and patient really makes a big difference over time.
That's great. Well, now the one before last is, what can acting or mimicking exercise make accent learning more neutral?
Oh, absolutely. Acting and mimicking exercises can really help you get into the mindset and the natural flow of the accent. By emulating native speakers, you not only improve your pronunciation, but also pick up on the intonation, rhythm, and even the emotional nuances. It makes the accent feel more authentic and natural, and it helps you internalize it in a more intuitive way. It's definitely a fun and effective approach.
Well, now the final question to finalize it is, how long does it take typically to sound conveniently British, or even what are the factors that actually helps people to progress and fundamentally get the British accent in less than, probably, let's say, a month? I'm not sure, but it can depend on the person, really.
Yeah, absolutely. It does vary quite a bit from person to person. Some people might notice significant progress in just a few months, especially if they're practicing consistently and immersing themselves daily. Other factors like the amount of time you dedicate each day, your natural ear for language, and even the resources you use all play a role. But generally, with consistent practice and dedication, you can definitely start sounding convincingly British within a few months.
And that's it, guys. I mean, these are the ultimate guide questions that can help you to be able to perfect, to get a British accent, to have a British accent, and of course, how to fake it. You can't make it till you fake it.
Absolutely. That's such a great way to put it. It's all about practice, consistency, and a bit of fun along the way. And before you know it, you'll sound more and more natural. So it's definitely an exciting journey.
Yeah, I mean, that's all about it, guys. And thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it. Thank you for the answers as well, for those who they be able to find it useful to implement into their learning journey. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're so welcome. I'm really glad I could help, and I hope these tips make the journey even more enjoyable and effective. If you have any more questions down the line, just let me know. Thanks so much, and best of luck with everything.
Cheers, mate. So yeah, I mean, guys, that's it. Simple. And even you can practice along with ChatGPT to improve your pronunciation, to improve your listening skills, and of course, to improve your confidence at the same time. So that's all about it, and that's all for me today. And if you like what you saw today, enjoyed the video, please hit the subscribe button and also click the bell for more regular pronunciation tips. And I'll see you next video. Take care, everyone.